Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Going Medieval. As always, I am Door, and today we are starting off the episode with a raid. We have 6 people coming in, and we need to go ahead and deal with them. But in between episodes, I went ahead and changed the schedule around a little bit. We increased their sleeping 1 hour to go ahead and give them a little bit more rest, and then they wake up with 2 hours of free time to go ahead and do whatever they want, followed by work from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. And then they go ahead and go into 2 hours of leisure time. And then they go into 2 more hours of doing whatever they want. And then they go to bed at 10 and then wake up again and start the day over again. But something that we might want to go ahead and consider, if we go ahead and get a lot more people here, like right now, it might not make a whole lot of sense to do it. But if we had like 20 people, we could probably have 10 people on this, which is like a daytime shift, and then we can have 10 more people on a nighttime shift. So they're working when these guys are sleeping, and then kind of keeping the stuff in the little village here constantly running, and hopefully having things get built and farms getting harvested and stuff like that. So there's not really any downtime. So we might end up doing that eventually. I'm not too sure just yet, but let's go ahead and get our people ready because these guys are going to be coming toward us in a second. So we need to go ahead and draft them all ready to go ahead and fight. And which way are they coming from? I think they're coming from this way, right? Yeah, they're up there on the hillside, and we need to go up there and meet them. So let's go ahead and have our people go there for right now, and hopefully they're all awake. I think this person is dying. Do I have anybody that needs injury things? No, nobody's injured. It's just this person just recently got hurt trying to finish building the rooms here, and they're kind of in a bad spot right now. So hopefully these 6 people that we do have that are healthy and ready to go are able to go ahead and take out these guys here in a second. So it doesn't look like they have too much like dangerous things. They do have shields, they have clubs, they have axes. What do these guys have? They have clubs as well. One of them has a shield, so there's 4 of them with shields, and then the other guys don't have shields. Can I go ahead and take my archer people and kind of spread them out so that the archers are kind of hitting the people that need to be getting hit, and then our melee people can go ahead and stay in the front here and hopefully get covered by the archers? Okay, I didn't realize they were fighting already. I was trying to look for another character, but they are indeed fighting already. So we have one of our settlers is wounded. That's not great. We do have dead bodies on the ground. Osgar just died. Theodoric just died. And that's not great for us. That's really not great for us. We had one of our founders die, right? That was Ogden. Ogden died, and he was our one of our founding 3 people here. So if we go ahead and pause it really quick, and let's see, it still tells us that we have 7 people, but I could have sworn it just said that somebody died in that. It popped up twice that Ogden and someone with a T died, unless the people that were fighting us had names as well. I thought they're just random like village or bandit people. I didn't think they gave them names. And I'm not getting any names hovering over the dead bodies here. It's a bunch of pillagers. I'm not getting the Ogden guy or the person with the T, but we do have them still alive, so I'm not too sure what that was. Maybe these guys had actual names, and that's what it was telling me. But let's go ahead and unpause it here, and hopefully we can go ahead and save these 2 people here. So we need Matilda, Manilda, who is one of our best medical people. I think Richard is the second best guy, right? Yeah, he's also 8. So we need him to go ahead and target her if I can. And I can't target her until she is in a bed. Okay, so we have to wait until they get back into bed. So let me go ahead and speed it up here a little bit. And hopefully they go ahead and get there without dying, because they are just walking and gushing blood all over the place. I guess they must not be too injured, because they're actually going and doing their work right now, because it's during the work schedule here. So they're actually going and doing their job. So hopefully they don't die, and we can actually fix them in a second whenever they do end up going to bed, which is a little ways away right now. Something else I noticed last episode was this will go ahead and make things not decompose, but if it starts raining, then these will start decomposing when it rains because it's not covered. So eventually we will have to go ahead and put one of these into a building instead of having it just out in the open here, especially if it starts raining more and more frequently here. But right now it's not raining. It's probably going to start raining though when it turns winter, unfortunately. So hopefully we can go ahead and get some more research and stuff done to go ahead and allow us to get better cooking and stuff like that, because we need to go ahead and get food situated, which I don't think we really have all that much backlogged right now, and we're probably gonna starve during the winter. I'm not too sure though. So I was taking a look through the manage food options here on our people, and we can go ahead and set it so they're no longer eating the raw food, because what they're doing right now is they sleep in here, they wake up and they go grab the raw cabbage or beets or carrots, whatever we have planted over here, instead of walking over to the underground bunker thing that has the soups and stuff that the person is making on the little fireplace here. So we can go ahead and set that to meal on all of them, but I also noticed that there's an option to go ahead and have them become cannibals. So I don't know if there's any negative effect to that, and I wish I had seen that in the beginning here. I probably would have been eating the raid people that we were getting, but I'm not necessarily going to do that right now unless we run into an issue where we don't have any food right now, because we have plenty of bodies laying around right now. We have the 6 of them that are over here. I think we have 1 in our storage thing here, maybe 2, and then I think that's it. So if we have to go ahead and become cannibals during the winter for this first time around, we might go ahead and become cannibals this time around. But I'm going to go ahead and set them all to be eating the meals right now, so that hopefully they kind of lose that little bit of unhappiness from eating the raw food here. So let me go ahead and swap all those on over. And then what I think I'm going to also do is take the bodies that are out here, because these are the fresher ones, right? Yeah, these guys don't expire for another 10 days. They don't go rotting yet. We're going to go ahead and have them put these 6 of them into the underground bunker there, so hopefully they don't decompose as fast. And I think in order to do that, I have to disable this guy from burning the bodies. So let me go ahead and just leave it to burn off this last one here. And do these other ones have anything set? No, the other ones aren't set right now, so we'll go ahead and leave those be. Actually, let me just close those so we don't accidentally have any bodies getting burnt here. We're going to go ahead and move these to the underground, but I don't know how we go about doing that exactly. Can I set it on this thing somehow in the stockpile menu here? Is there a way for me to have the bodies come here? Oh, right there, carcasses. I see ya. So we're going to have enemy corpses go into this. I don't want our own people getting eaten, but if we do have any of our own people die, then I guess we'll go ahead and bring them over here. So let me go ahead and disable the carcass thing on this one as well. So I don't want any of the bodies getting put in there. I want them going to the bottom one, and that should be good. We do have winter approaching. I haven't paid attention to how long the days are in the month-to-month thing here. So we might be having winter in like 2 seconds here. I'm not too sure. But we do have an issue with all of our people right now. They're all going unconscious, and I don't know if it's because of the heat that they aren't getting, right? Because it is getting cold outside. We have, what is that, 12 degrees out? So it's not exactly nice to be out there right now, and they don't have any winter clothes just yet. But I don't think there's a way for me to know that. I can click on them and see what's happening, but it's just that they're losing consciousness, and it's not telling me why, I don't think. And a couple of these rooms are built, or at least the torches are in the rooms that are kind of built already. There's a couple beds down. And I don't think the torch is going to be enough to heat the room, because if we hover around in the room, it's only 35.4 degrees inside, and outside it's only 13.9 degrees. So I think we might have to go ahead and put one of those braziers inside of all of these rooms to go ahead and heat them for the winter here. They don't have the negative effect on them for being cold, so we might be okay, but we might also not be okay. I'm not too sure here, but I guess we'll see in a second when it fully becomes winter and we have to actually put those down. Over here in the main room, we have that brazier down, and it's 55, and I think at nighttime it got up to 57 degrees in here, so they were all happy when they woke up. So we either need to go ahead and double up on torches to go ahead and try and heat the room a little bit more, or we can just go ahead and stick the thing in the corner and be done with it. I think that's probably what we'll end up doing if they do start getting a little angry when they wake up in the mornings because they're too cold. Really quickly here, I was clicking through the characters to see what any of their negatives are, and this person right here, Ellen, has a negative 16 because she apparently is chained up, and I don't know what that means. I didn't arrest her, I didn't do anything like that, so I'm not sure if it's maybe just because of the armor that she's wearing, a chainmail armor, and that might be what's causing it. So what if we go ahead and drop that? Flimsy shackles, never mind. I didn't realize they had shackles on, so that was probably what was happening there. Let's go ahead and put the armor back on if she can. Okay, there we go. She went ahead and put the helmet back on. She put on something else for winter. I think it was like a flimsy winter coat, and now she's happy, and she doesn't have that negative 16 thing on her mood meter here. Alrighty, so we have 7 rooms in the apartment complex here built up. We have another couple getting built still, so we don't have them all completed just yet. But hovering over this thing, it tells us that the month to month is only split into 12 days. So right now, in 4 hours, it's going to tick over to winter, and we're going to see whether or not we have enough food to go ahead and make it through those 12 days. So one thing I want to go ahead and do really quick, since they are still working on this stuff, this is really not going to hopefully not take priority here. But what we want to go ahead and do is tear out the door here, tear out the windows, and what we're going to go ahead and do is put a dividing wall down the middle here and move the religious 2 things over here into each section of the little building here. I don't know if we actually need to go ahead and do that, but at least that way they can go ahead and continue to pray during the winter and hopefully get a little bit of happiness out of it instead of sitting out in the cold here praying to whatever they're praying to. I also went ahead and removed the little stick trap things here because we're not going to have them all going into this house over and over again, and it kind of didn't really work out last episode when we used that, so we'll eventually get around to going ahead and doing the defense stuff again, but for right now that's fine just leaving it out of there. And we can go ahead and put down some doors for this thing here, so I need the door, thank you, and we can go ahead and just place those here. I suppose we can't rotate the door, okay, so we'll just do that. We'll just put a wall right down the middle here. We won't go ahead and put windows again, and then what we'll end up doing is probably having a couple of torches down the side here so that they can go ahead and have some light in here. So we will go from... Can I put them on the door? I can't put them on the door. Let's go ahead and do 2 torches then, and we'll put one there, and let's see if we can actually put the leisure item in here with that. So we'll put this guy on the right side, and we only need a 2 wide area. Dang, that's going to annoy me. Let's put it against the wall then, I guess, something like that. And then on this side, we can do the same thing with that one. And that way we have the torches there. We can go ahead and put a couple of stools in here, I guess, if they want to go ahead and hang out and sit down. So we'll plop that guy there, and we'll plop one there. And then same thing on this side. We can go ahead and put the torches down as well. So we are going there and there. Eventually we might go ahead and put more stools and stuff, but for right now I think that'll be fine. And then what I want to go ahead and do is swap these guys over to the other items actually. So we're going to actually change out this guy to the stone variant because that's what we have enough to go ahead and do right now. We don't have the wood on hand to go and swap that, or actually place that. And then same thing with this guy here. We're going to put the stone variant for this guy as well. And the winter has officially kicked on here. So let's go ahead and wander around our stuff here. They're not going to be making the beer and the butchery table during the winter here because I don't think they're going to want to stand out in the snow doing their jobs here. And how cold is it in the rooms? They woke up happy. So that's a good sign. It is 31 degrees inside the rooms, and it's 27 in the room that doesn't have a torch in it. So I think we're going to be fine with the torches, hopefully, unless it gets weirder and colder. It is -7 degrees, -8 degrees outside. So they're not going to be too happy here. So here we go. We got the winter officially kicking off here. We got the little splash screen here. So it says the winter held Doorheim in its icy grip. So the settlers gathered around the fires on long dark evenings. They needed to bundle up in warm clothing and heat their chambers to beat the chill. There is a chance that we have low temperatures, or not a chance, but we have low temperatures, high chances of snowfall and blizzards, a chance of cold snaps. Vegetation will not grow in low temperatures. So we needed to ensure that we grew enough food to go ahead and survive the winter, which I don't think we did. We do have a bunch of bodies and hopefully we can kind of stretch those out, but we don't have a whole lot of vegetables and things kind of backlogged just yet. So we might really run into some issues here. If we go down into our little bunker thing here, we have a couple things of soup and a thing of cabbage. And only one of the bodies is actually in here. They never actually brought the other bodies from the hillside over here over to the storage container. So I don't know how much longer these are good for. 2 days. So that's not great. We do have a bunch of animals all over the place. So, I mean, in the event that we do need food, we can also hunt. It's not like the animals just despawned or anything like that. And I just realized they're not going to actually build any of this that we just put down because we don't have any wood. All of our wood was eaten up by the apartment, and we don't have any more of it growing. These guys stopped growing. We can make a lap around the map and cut down all the trees that we can to go ahead and get those kind of in our inventory, I guess. But for right now, I don't think that's going to do us any favors. So we have enough research points to go ahead and actually research one of these guys here, the clay bricks or the stone blocks. I think we're going to go with the stone blocks because I think we have 1,300 stone, and I think that might fall under this thing here. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then maybe we can start building houses and stuff out of stone. Right now we can do the option of building with limestone or clay, and we don't do that just yet. We might have to honestly start doing that because the wood is a little pricey to be building with. The stone kind of seems to be everywhere, or at least in more abundance, right? We can just go ahead and mine a big area of ground out instead of mining down a bunch of trees. The trees are not super duper great for that. So we might be shifting our buildings from here on out to something else, maybe limestone or stone in general. So something else I'm kind of realizing on these people's happiness right now is that they are kind of getting angry at seeing dead bodies, and I think that's happening because the dead body that's in our little storage thing down low, I think that's why they're getting a little salty about it. But there's really not much we can do about that because, again, if we run out of food, we have to kind of either eat the body or go hunting. So we just got hit with a cold snap, and it says the severe frost turned the ground to iron, ruining planted crops, trees split, birds froze to death, and rivers became solid ice. It was vital for the settlers to dress warmly and heat Doorheim's sleeping quarters to evade the deathly kiss of the cold. So that's not a great thing that just happened. It isn't too cold though. It's only, or actually it's dropping, and it's dropping very quickly here. Okay, so it's probably going to be super cold because it was only 8 degrees and now it's 10 degrees and still dropping. So that's terrible. Oh, look at our screen. It's icing up. That's pretty cool. Okay. Well, I have a very sneaking suspicion that they're all going to die, and we're going to probably end up restarting. So, I mean, at least next time around, we kind of know what we need to go ahead and do, right? We can go ahead and get the underground little storage area dug out quickly, and then kind of prioritize growing food the first season here instead of building construction buildings that kind of ate into a whole lot of our time. We can go ahead and get the schedule kind of squared away a little quicker here as well. But we can go ahead and see. We have the stone table. I guess we can't see the recipes to it. Can we? No. There's variants to it, but there's not something we can do with it. We have some tables that we still haven't put down, right? We never got around to smelting stuff. We didn't get around to doing really anything. Our people are passing out, so that's not great for us. Let's go ahead and have Richard, I guess. Maybe not Richard. Richard, maybe. Let me have you prioritize carrying her. Oh, never mind. Somebody else is doing it already. And then we need Manilda, or Matilda, whatever her name is, to go ahead and heal her, and Hendrik is actually doing that, so never mind. So what I'm going to actually do, because there's really not much else we can do right now in the winter, I guess we can dig out more of the underground area here, so we can kind of prepare. Oh, there's a lot of dead bodies in here now. I thought there was only one. We are going to go ahead and expand the underground section here, so that way we can go ahead and move the bodies maybe, and they don't have to keep looking at them constantly. So what if we go this way with it? We'll make a doorway here. No, I don't want to make a doorway there. Hold on, stop. We'll make the doorway there, and then what we'll do is we'll go another one out, and then we'll have another little 5x5 area, and that way we have a little section again here for these bodies, and then we can go ahead and shove them there. Somebody just died. There's a dead body up there. Hold on. Wait, no, nobody died. Who is this? Why is there a body there? You shouldn't be in this stockpile. I disabled that. Yeah, I disabled that, and that shouldn't be there, so I don't know why that's in that stockpile, but it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and actually bump it to 3 times speed here, because if they start dying, they start dying. There's really nothing we can do about it. We don't have a whole lot of food. If they start telling us that they're hungry, then we can go ahead and prioritize maybe hunting or eating the bodies, I suppose. There's really no other options right now. The food reserves are low, which, I mean, kind of understandable here. We only have 49 beers. I think the hit points is how many you have, right? Or we only have 1. I'm not sure about that. We currently have this thing, which is the soup or the stew, and we have 10. Okay, so I think that's what we have. We have 20 stews. We have 5 cabbages. We have no more ale. The guy just drank the last one. They're not working on the underground bit here, and they should be, right? It should be work time, but they're not really working right now. Did I change that? No, I didn't change that. Oh, it's free time. Never mind. 7 a.m. is work time. Okay, so now they should be working on the underground here, and they're not. They're all sleeping. What is going on here? Why are they ignoring the scheduling? 7 a.m. was work time. It's 9 a.m. right now, and everybody's still asleep. Okay, well, we're just going to leave it in 3 times then and see what happens here, because the sooner we get out of winter time, the better it is for us, because we can't do anything. So we're just going to sit here and wait for this stuff to process through. Do we have enough to research something else? We do indeed. We have 184 apparently, but that's not enough to do any of these guys. How much do we need for these? We only need 30. Why can't we use those? I guess we only have 20 available. Maybe that's the wrong thing. Maybe that's not what I'm looking at. Okay, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and leave those decorative things alone. I don't really want any of those. We'll go ahead and buy the clay brick thing, so we also have those available if we're actually able to use that in a second. And then we'll go ahead and see. I'm going to just let this process through, and hopefully we can make it through winter. And if not, then I guess we're restarting the world here. And I just realized that we actually didn't get around to putting down the brazier in the leisure building here, but we don't have any wood, so we can't even do that now, even if we wanted to. Actually, we can. What am I talking about? We can do that one there, and we can shove another one on the bottom floor here. Actually, there we go. So can I put that in the staircase? Oh, space already occupied. Okay, so no, I can't. So we can actually put it here then, I suppose, on the side, and we'll put it here, I guess, and we'll see how that works out. I'm going to go ahead and toggle my people to go ahead and cut down some trees then out in the wild here so that we at least get some sort of wood coming in. So we have that one there and a couple there. Are there any more trees that are kind of close by that we can cut down? We have that one that's not very big, and then we have some steps that take us up to this guy. We have some more over in this corner. Let me just go ahead and cut those things down, and hopefully we get the heating in that building there. We get these guys up and running so we can go ahead and break down those two prayer things on the outside here. And who is injured? We have Ogden injured. Where is this person? This person can go ahead and repair this person, and if we put it into double time or triple time here, that should happen relatively quickly here. And there we go. So actually there's more people that are wounded. Okay, who else is wounded? Katina is wounded, or Caitlin is wounded. So where did she just go? She's over there. Let's go ahead and have you repair this person as well. Is there anybody else after her? No. That's the last person that's currently injured. And then once they're done getting fixed up, we should have that thing disappear. Cool. Food reserves are running low. Does this tell me how much food we have in our food thingy? No, it doesn't tell me exactly how much we have, but we do have 13 and 5 over here, so we should kind of be okay for another day or two, kind of depending on how frequently they eat through that. All right, so we have no more food, so what I'm going to go ahead and try, because we have the bodies and I kind of want to just give it a go, we're going to go ahead and toggle all of them to go ahead and be cannibals, and hopefully they have enough bodies in there to go ahead and get them through the next 8 days. And if they don't, then I guess we'll go ahead and hunt. But for right now, since we have the food on us, we're just going to go ahead and trigger them to be that. And are they going to eat the bodies is the question here. And let's see. Hendrik is the only one that's currently telling us that he's starving. Let's go ahead and follow him. Is he going to the butchery table? He's not going to the butchery table. He's going to go ahead and cut down a tree. Can I go ahead and toggle this to go ahead and be getting the meat from the thingy? No, not that I can see. But what do we have in here before we go ahead and get too preoccupied here? We have 7 bodies in here, so hopefully we can see whether or not they're going to go ahead and eat them or not here. All right, so they must not be too hungry to go ahead and be complaining that they're starving, because they're not coming and taking the bodies to eat them, so I'm not too sure about that. We are going to go ahead and floor up the little extension that we just put down here. We're going to plop a door down as well so that they can go ahead and not see the bodies constantly. And then once they're done with that, we're going to go ahead and throw the stockpile onto that and move the corpses on over to this room here, and hopefully they can go ahead and start eating them. And so we have a raid coming in here, so let's go ahead and deal with this. Oh, it's not a normal raid. I should have read that. It's a raid of wolves. Okay, that's my bad. So we might actually not win this because we kind of don't have all that much good stuff to go ahead and deal with wolves, let alone people. So let me go ahead and highlight everybody, get them all ready to go, and we're gonna go ahead and have them kind of get ready. They're gonna be coming down this little area here, down this section here. So let's go ahead and have our people go here, so that way when the wolves are coming down this little hillside here, they're hopefully getting shot up with the arrows and kind of hopefully kill them on the side here instead of having them get all the way to us and probably end up killing one of our people probably. So there's actually only 4 of them left. I think 3 of them just died because it's so cold, maybe. I'm not sure, because I zoomed over here and there's 3 of them dead, or these were just normal wolves that were walking around. And yeah, never mind, there's a bunch of them. It's only showing me 4 when I click on this, but there is much more than 4. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready for these guys like I said, and hopefully they come down the hillside there and we can deal with them. They kind of don't seem to care, though. You know what? They kind of seem to just be chilling out up here on the corner of the mountain here and not necessarily coming toward us. So I'm going to go ahead and disband our army so that everybody goes back to doing what they need to be doing. And then if these guys start coming toward our base again, I'm going to go ahead and re-enable the army thing here. But for right now, let's go ahead and just leave them be so they can do what they need to do. So those wolves never actually came toward our base and they just left the area. They killed a couple animals. They got the wolves up there, they got a deer, they went chasing after all the bunnies, and it looks like they got one of them, so that was cool. We didn't have to actually do anything with them. We didn't really risk any of our villagers' lives, so I mean, it's a win-win there in a way. I went ahead and put a campfire in here, and I'm just waiting for them to go ahead and build it because I don't think they're using the one that's outside anymore because it's so cold. So I went ahead and just plopped it inside to see if that can kind of hopefully fix it and they can start cooking stuff because people are still starving and they're still not taking the bodies out of this thing, even though they're all set to go ahead and be cannibals. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So we're also going to go ahead and move the butchery table inside as well because I think we need that to go ahead and process the meat, because if we go ahead and hover over the butchery table here, we have the option to go ahead and get raw meat, and it's from humans. And then if we go ahead and go over the campfire here, we also have that as well. Packaged meal with human meat, the roasted meat with human meat, and we also have in, which one was it? Was it in, it's not in any of these, it's in the research thing. If we go ahead and open up that, if we go ahead and build or research into the secondary thing for cooking, we get the limestone hearth, and we can use that to make meals as well. But we can do that with the campfire basically, so I'm not going to research into that just yet, but we do have some research points right now. So what I think I want to go ahead and do is research into the defensive structures here so that we can go ahead and maybe have some better defenses up around our little base here instead of just those little punji stick thingies that come up from the ground and poke them in the feet. So I'm going to go ahead and let them build up the butchery table here, and hopefully they go ahead and start processing the bodies that we have in our storage down there so that we can go ahead and start making some food to go ahead and feed our people before they start starving to death. I'm not sure if they will do that. They are ravenous because they haven't eaten in a couple days. I'm trying to see how much health they have. Is that a thing I can see? I guess this is their health, right? Hit points. So if they do start starving to death, that's not great for us, but hopefully we can go ahead and get this thing up and running before that becomes an issue. I can also go ahead and separate out our little stockpile thing here so they don't have to keep seeing the bodies over and over again. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So there's that, and we're going to disable everything except for the human bodies, and we don't want any of our normal people in there. We just want the enemies in there. And same thing with this thing here. We don't want any of the human stuff in here anymore. We just want the raw food. So hopefully they can go ahead and move them. There we go. And how many people we still only have 7 people in there, right? Yeah, we still only have 7 people in there, and they're still not processing through. So what if we go here, and can we toggle this to go ahead and make it with... Oh, that's why it's not making anything, because we don't have it enabled to use the human corpses. I didn't realize we had to toggle that. So that's going to start chopping up the bodies, and then I think we have to do it with this one as well, right? Yep, we need raw human meat. We need human meat for this thing as well. I don't want to use rotten meat because I don't want our people getting sick. But now with those 2 things set, we should have them start consuming these guys here in just a second here. So let's see. Did they grab anybody? Someone does have someone. So Ogden is bringing someone up here. Our doctor started chopping up somebody. Richard tried to finish it. He didn't. Ogden is finishing it. There we go. We have a bunch of raw meat on the ground. We have 20 leather. We get leather from people. Oh, that's such a good thing. I didn't realize that's how we get leather. That's going to come in handy. So we have food getting cooked up, and we got this guy starting it. Can we go ahead and have that finished so these people can actually eat tomorrow? We have some roasted meat on the ground. We have 3 roasted meat, so at least 3 people are going to eat tomorrow. Oh, I'm so happy about that. We only have 3 of them roasted, and if we only get 3 per body, that's only going to be 21 food, and that's only going to last our people 3 days. So we need to go ahead and definitely hunt, unfortunately. And our people are getting a little angry. They're becoming rebellious. We have 3 of them rebellious, so that's not super good for us. We can go ahead and disable this building here, or the little workbench from outside. That can go ahead and get broken down eventually. I'm not too worried about that. But since we have the ability to go ahead and harvest these animal corpses, we can go ahead and do that now, because we have a couple of them dead, and I think they should be fine to use, right? Because we didn't kill them, but the dogs did. So they kind of did our work for us, which kind of helped us in a way, right? We can go ahead and harvest up the deer, and we can harvest up the 3 wolves over there. And we're just going to go ahead and highlight everybody so that they come and grab these things here in a second. Selected settlers are rebellious. Can I disable them? Nope. I have to go through and pick them individually here. So let me grab the ones that aren't rebellious, and they should be able to come out here and grab the deer, and then they'll grab the wolves as well. So I think we will go ahead and make it through winter. We will have to go ahead and eat those people, and then we'll have a little bit of the animals to go ahead and eat as well. But eventually we should go ahead and make it through this. And then what is the first thing? Spring? Maybe? I don't remember. But we will go ahead and start the new season off here, and then we will go ahead and hopefully make a better run this time around before winter rolls around, so that we hopefully don't need to go ahead and eat anybody that winter. So, I mean, we have to do it this time just to go ahead and try and make some of these people happy, but for the most part we should be okay with what we're doing right now. Unless, do these people have like a mental break for eating people? Yep, they do. Okay, eating consumed human flesh, they're losing 44.8, so that's not good, but I think that should hopefully go away when we start eating normal food again. So I don't think that's going to be a permanent thing, hopefully. So since I think we're actually going to make it through the winter here, we can go ahead and start excavating this thing, since there's really not much else we can do. We can't farm or anything, so we might as well go ahead and mine this thing out so that we have that area cleared for the start of spring. So in order to do that, we need to go ahead and put down staircases to go ahead and reach this top bit here. So let's go ahead and do that on this side here. We'll go ahead and go up twice, and then when we get here, we'll go ahead and mine out this little area, and we'll go ahead and walk up there and cut those trees down before we mine the flooring here, because I think it will go ahead and just like auto destroy the trees there, and we don't get anything from them. So let's go back into 3x mode here. That'll go ahead and build those stairs. I believe had enough wood on us. Yeah, we had 140 or something like that, and it's only going to cost us 80 or 90 to build those. So we have the new trap, which is the wooden trap, which looks like it's another little single tile thingamabobber. So I guess we'll go ahead and use that eventually. We also have a bunch of research points here. I guess 30 points, not really a whole bunch. That's like enough to do one more thing, but we need to go ahead and do research too if we want to go ahead and get wooden weaponry too. But I think for right now what we'll end up doing is probably go let's see, what do we want? Let's go with the cooking, so we get more options for food and stuff, so that we can actually kind of better prepare next time around here. It's also winter, or it's still winter, not again, but we're going to go ahead and have these guys mine this thing out. Like I said, we're going to throw another thing of stairs and then go ahead and harvest these trees up here in a second. Okay, so winter is just about over here. We're on day 8 and it stops at 12. I went ahead and changed our little prayer building things around here. Instead of having it backed up against the wall right here, I went ahead and flipped it sideways to go ahead and be horizontal with the rest of the room here. So that way, if there's ever more than 2 of them in here at a time, they can go ahead and pray, I guess, if they go to this tile or this tile. I'm not too sure about that. They were kind of cramming themselves into a corner there. And I also went ahead and removed these stools. They're not sitting on the stools at all anyways, so they're just kind of eating up space. Another thing that I've noticed that I'm not quite sure, maybe it's because it's winter and the floor can't be mined out in the world here, but they're not touching this stuff at all. I've prioritized it with all of them, and they will not come and mine this. So I'm not too sure if we just can't mine because it's too cold, or they're just not wanting to do what I'm asking them to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and let it process through the last couple days here for winter, so that way we can at least start next episode in spring and we can actually start doing stuff again. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just let it process through here. We're on day 9 now, so I think we should be fine. Everybody's kind of angry that we've been eating human for the last couple days, but I mean, we kind of had to go ahead and survive. I guess we didn't have to, but I kind of wanted to. But anyways, as we wait for the timer to tick over to spring, we can go ahead and move the brewery inside, I suppose, because it's not being used since it's outside. We can't do anything with it right now anyways because we don't have berries, so it's just a pointless thing to have out right now. We are going to go ahead and build buildings and stuff to go ahead and house some of this stuff in them. I don't know if they need specific stuff in the rooms to go ahead and determine what the room is, because these guys aren't considered like churches or anything. They're just considered spare rooms. So I'm not too sure about that, but we have those kind of squared away. They're fine with it. They're going to them. They're actually warm while they're in there, so we're fine. We're going to build out little buildings to go ahead and have the brewery and the kiln and the smelting furnace and the smokehouses and stuff in their own little buildings when spring rolls around here, so we can actually get building and growing trees again and stuff. But for the most part, it's just a waiting game here because they're angry. And we have to just wait until this thing ticks over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. Alrighty, so as we wait for these final few hours to go ahead and pass on through here to go ahead and start spring, all of our people are kind of back to being okay with us. They're not super angry or rebellious anymore. We do have to wait here for the negative effect on these people to go away, which I think for the most part has gone away. Alan's the only person that still has it, so they have to wait a day and 6 hours for their negative effect to go away for eating human meat. I already went ahead and changed their food options back to meals because we had a couple more of the human meat things in there, but we don't have any more. So now they're eating anything that's considered a meal instead of just the human meat, so they don't get the negative effect from it anymore. I think we already went through all of the human meat that we had in there anyways, so we don't have that negative effect popping up anytime soon, hopefully. I will go ahead and disable the human meat in these two things so we don't have that being produced during the normal seasons here. I will go ahead and stockpile the 25 bodies that we can in that little room over there, just so in the case that winter rolls around again and we don't have the food backlog to go ahead and survive it, we will at least hopefully have those there in the emergency situation that if we need them again, we can go ahead and use those. So I'm going to go ahead and disable those in these things here so we don't have that being produced at all, and we don't run the risk of our people getting angry that they're having to eat people during the normal seasons here. So that stuff's disabled again. We should be good, and in 2 hours here, in 1 hour here, we will go ahead and have it toggle on over to spring, and hopefully they start digging this thing out because they went the entire winter pretty much there not mining that out at all. All right, so there we go. Spring rolled around. We don't have the little dialogue thing pop up just yet because that's going to pop up on day 3 or something like that. But for right now, it is spring, technically spring, according to the little calendar on the top there. But I think next episode, we're going to go ahead and start building a perimeter around our base. Maybe not super huge, but something that at least we can go ahead and have our people like huddle out in and have a bunch of these traps on the way in here so that the enemies are getting damaged by them before they get to us, and we're able to kill them a little more easily and not take too much damage. So that's kind of the plan here. Either we will go ahead and use the limestone walls, right? We're going to go stone, either the limestone or we're going to use whatever the stone thing is that we just unlocked, kind of depending on whether or not it's super expensive or not. I don't know how pricey that's going to be. If it's cheaper than the limestone or the same price as the limestone, which I think is 5 stone per wall here. Yeah, five stone per wall. So we're not going to go too crazy. Like I said, we're going to have a little inner circle of a wall here so that we have our houses for the most part and our little businesses in the wall here. And then we're probably going to have our farms and stuff on the outskirts here because I don't think there's a way for us to move the dirt. So we have to go ahead and lay the farms out here where we have them already. And then when we do get a raid or attacked in any way, we can go ahead and just have our people go inside the wall and then have a couple of the traps placed around so that they have to run through those before they get to us. But that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.